Hello, just thought I'd do, and I haven't done this for a while, but a 5-minute bolognese. A simple, what you can see here, I've talked about before, prep, make sure you've got everything ready. I've got around 1,000 grams of what they call bolognese, which is a beef and a lamb there, or in fact, sorry, beef and pork. Chopped up onions, red onions too, I do prefer a red onion. Crushed tomatoes, a little bit of a tomato bolognese sauce, a tomato paste, some chopped up carrots and tomatoes, and kind of whatever else you need from the fridge. This really is a simple meal. It's simple, it's quick. I promise you, it's about a 5-minute cook, because any longer, you're going to overcook the beef to the point where it's a bit tough. So you really want to have it a little bit undercooked, which makes it a lot softer. So literally you started, I've got over here a bit of oil in that pan. So it's starting off, it's browning off, or sweating off, sorry, the onions, and getting that to a point where we can see a little bit of the oil in there, fair load of oil. Let me put that light on, give you a bit more sight. And just brown that off. We'll turn that up a little bit. Turn it on, one or the other. What time are we? Let's see how long this takes. So I reckon it's not going to take more than 5 minutes. So, in this prep, one of the keys to this as well is making sure that with the whatever you use, whether it's beef or lamb or pork or a combination of them, making sure you break them up enough to get the chunks out of it. So really, if you can, just break that up as much as you can whilst you're putting it in. We can come back to that and crush it up as well. But this is a quick cook, so a quick cook, unlike my 12-hour bolognese, this literally is a quick cook. You're just heating it, you're browning it off, and you're getting it done as quickly as possible. Right there. Now this is where I like to obviously add the garlic as well. We're going to bring all this together quickly as possible, but browning it off and recognising it is that quick cook. As I said, any longer it will be overcooked and a bit tough. So it's a bit like a sort of a medium rare steak, because once we get the other liquids into it, the sauces, the tomato paste, it will really start to cook a little bit quicker. So a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. We can keep adding to this salt and pepper, a bit like any of these things, just to taste. If you want more garlic, of course, put more garlic in, more salt and pepper. We'll put a little spice into it, just a pinch or so of, I know one's looking, a pinch or so of chilli. I do enjoy chilli, so we can put that in. Now I've got a little special ingredient that I'm going to put in this too, once the meat's a little bit more cooked. Sometimes you can use just a dash of milk or a dash of cream. It'll give it that creaminess. I know Florentino's in Melbourne made an incredibly beautiful lasagna, long cooked lasagna, and I think I might have mentioned it in my 12-hour lasagna, just a little bit of that milk brings that creaminess, or that cream to the oil. Not too much, just a little bit. Okay, so if we can just bring that, thanks Jim's camera around a little bit closer, you can see that starting to really come to a stage where you're changing colour, still making sure what you're noticing there is I'm breaking it up as much as I can, otherwise it does become clumpy, and whilst it doesn't bother me, some people don't like it too clumpy. So while that's going, I'm just going to keep adding to that still some of the drier ingredients, and then we're going to get in. So just some chopped up carrot there, a little bit, I had some extra tomato hanging around, so a bit of chopped up tomato. I'm bringing in that's just 1 can of chopped tomato. And that's around 600 grams. Look, you don't always need to use, that's kind of like a passata, so a crushed up tomato sauce, anything like that. Again, to give it kind of that wetness, a little bit like when we do the lasagna, you want to keep it fairly moist, and you allow, once you get the pasta into it, to have a lot of that runniness that can soak through those pasta bits. Now you could add some spinach to this. I know I use spinach a lot, I do enjoy spinach, but you could bring anything into a bolognese. It could be zucchini, it could be florets of broccoli, you could use any of those sort of green vegetables if you like, or leave them out. I've left them out. So And one of the things I don't tend to use a lot of, but we can, it depends on taste, is that it's the tomato concentrate. Just a tablespoon of that tomato concentrate. Not too much, because you don't want it too heavy on the tomato flavour. I know it is a bolognese, but you'll see the colour changing there. That really is, we're not far off calling that, believe it or not. But I will put just a little splash of creaming. And that'll just give it that creaminess, not too much. One of those things, you start off small and you can add to it if need be. It's very difficult to reverse that. There we go, that's exactly what we want, that sort of colour. I'm going to put a little bit more salt and just a squeeze more pepper. Look at that, a little bit of salt, squeeze more pepper, and that will be the quickest bolognese with still that incredible amount of flavour, lightly cooked, in a fast, relatively high heat. Just mixing that up, and guess what? We're done. So I'm going to come back and show you the final product. In terms of the cooking, that's finished. That's just on 6 minutes. I know there's probably about 10 minutes of prep time, but about a 6 or 5 minute cooked bolognese. Beautiful, thanks. Okay, we've got ourselves the final product there. You can see that 5 minute bolognese, pasta, a little bit of parmesan on top with some parsley. Awesome, enjoy.